In a quiet palace filled with tall windows, long hallways, and beautiful gardens, there lived a young girl who never imagined that her life would one day change the world. She was only 18 years old. She was gentle, shy, and soft-spoken. Unlike many young people her age who loved parties and excitement, she preferred quiet mornings, books, and peaceful walks in the palace gardens. The young princess had grown up in a royal family, but she never believed she would become the ruler of a great empire. She was not the first in line to the throne. Because of this, she lived a relatively calm life compared to other royal heirs who were trained from childhood to lead a nation. She spent her days studying languages, history, and music. Her teachers described her as intelligent and thoughtful, but also very quiet. When visitors came to the palace, she often felt nervous speaking in front of them. Despite her shyness, the princess had a strong sense of duty. Her mother often reminded her that being part of a royal family meant serving the people of the country. The princess listened carefully to these lessons, even though she believed they would never truly apply to her. She imagined that one day another member of the family would become the ruler while she would live a peaceful life away from politics. One evening, everything changed. News arrived at the palace that the king had passed away unexpectedly. The atmosphere inside the palace immediately became heavy and serious. Servants whispered in the corridors, advisors rushed between rooms, and the royal family gathered together in sadness and confusion. Soon the truth became clear. According to the laws of the kingdom, the young princess was now the next person who had the right to rule. When she heard the news, she could hardly believe it. Only a day before, she had been living the quiet life of a young royal woman with little responsibility. Now she was being told that she would become the queen of a powerful empire. She felt frightened and overwhelmed. How could someone so young and shy rule a nation? She had never given a political speech. She had never made important decisions for millions of people. The responsibility seemed far too great. The following morning, important government leaders arrived at the palace. Ministers, advisors, and powerful politicians gathered to discuss the future of the country. Many of them looked at the young princess with doubt. To them, she seemed inexperienced and uncertain. Some secretly believed that she would be easy to control. They assumed that the young queen would depend completely on her advisors and simply follow their instructions. A shy 18-year-old girl did not seem like someone who could challenge powerful men in government. But they did not yet understand her true character. Although the princess felt nervous, she also understood that her country needed stability. The people needed a leader. She realized that she could not run away from the responsibility that history had placed upon her. Within days, preparations began for the coronation ceremony. The palace became busy again, but this time with tailors, guards, musicians, and officials preparing for the historic event. Messages were sent to leaders around the world announcing that a new queen would soon take the throne. During these days, the young princess spent many hours thinking about her future. She knew she lacked experience, but she also knew she had the ability to learn. She began reading government documents, asking questions, and listening carefully to advisors who explained how the empire worked. She discovered that ruling a country was not only about power. It was about responsibility, patience, and understanding the needs of millions of people. The empire she was about to rule was vast, stretching across oceans and continents. Different cultures, languages, and traditions existed under one crown. The night before the coronation, the young princess could barely sleep. Her mind was full of questions. Would the people trust her? Would she make mistakes? Would she be strong enough to lead such a great empire? Yet deep inside her heart, she felt a quiet determination growing. The next morning, the palace bells rang loudly across the city. Crowds gathered in the streets to witness the historic moment. Carriages, soldiers, and royal guards lined the roads leading to the grand ceremony. Inside the palace, the young princess stood in front of a mirror while attendants prepared her royal clothing. She looked different than usual. The simple, shy girl who once spent her mornings reading books now wore the symbols of a ruler. When she stepped outside, thousands of people were waiting to see their new queen. As she entered the grand hall where the ceremony would take place, the atmosphere was filled with excitement and curiosity. Leaders, nobles, and foreign representatives watched closely. When the crown was finally placed upon her head, the shy 18-year-old girl officially became the queen. At that moment, she understood that her life would never be the same again. She stood before her people and spoke with a calm but slightly nervous voice. She promised to serve the nation with honesty, fairness, and dedication. Her speech was simple, but it was sincere. Many people in the crowd noticed something important that day. Although the young queen was quiet and gentle, there was also strength in her character. She listened carefully, spoke thoughtfully, and carried herself with dignity. In the weeks that followed, she began her work as the new ruler. Instead of pretending to know everything, she chose to learn. She spent long hours studying reports, meeting advisors, and understanding how the government functioned. Slowly, the people around her began to realize that the shy girl they once doubted possessed a rare quality. She was patient, intelligent, and deeply committed to doing what was right for her country. No one yet knew that this quiet 18-year-old queen would go on to rule one of the largest empires in history, an empire so vast that people would one day say the sun never set upon it. But the journey had begun, and the shy girl who once doubted herself was slowly becoming one of the most powerful women the world would ever see.